Biology is a branch of science which is devoted to the study of living organisms or living beings. Now, when we say living organisms, it is a science and it is devoted to living organisms, then that doesn't mean that it only talks about human beings. No, it does not only talk about human beings, because apart from human beings there are plants, there are animals, there are microorganisms. So it means that when we talk about living organisms, then it does not only mean about human beings, it also talks about plants, animals, microorganisms. These microorganisms can be viruses, can be bacteria, and so on. Okay. This biology word is actually taken from two Greek roots. One is bios and logos. These two are Greek roots, taken from Greek roots. Okay, what does bios means? Bios means life. And what does logos means? Logos means logic or knowledge or scientific scientific study. Okay, so bios and logos taken from Greek roots, and bios means life, logos means logic or knowledge or scientific study. It means biology is actually what? Is a scientific study of lives, of life. Okay, now that's not very simple. Why? Because on this planet Earth, biologists estimate that there could be around 10 to 100 million, 10 to 100 million of million species of living organisms. Out of which we know about 1.5 million only. So this is estimated value of possible species on the planet Earth, and this is what we know about 1.5 million species we know about. And to study them is not an easy task, right? It's a vast subject, because you'll have to study human beings. Then when it comes about plants, then you'll have a lot of plants, and then animal species, and then microorganisms and all. It's because of that the study of biology or this science has several branches, and that has been represented here. It has several of branches. Here we have only a few of them. Now, if we are going to discuss them very briefly, okay, very briefly, because we'll cover all these topics, in detail when we'll study further. What is botany? Botany is that branch of biology that deals with plants. You study about plant species. What is microbiology? As the name micro suggests that it's talking something about very, very, very small particles or very minute things. And that's what microbiology is. It is the study of microorganisms, of viruses, of bacteria, right? Of fungi. So, in this case, virology means the study of viruses. It's a part of microbiology. Another part of microbiology is bacteriology. Again, as the term bacteria suggests that it's a study of bacteria. And mycology is the study of fungi. Okay, it's a study of fungi. What's anatomy? Now, anatomy of either of plants of or human beings or animals, it's about the structure of the whole human body or the parts of human body. Like you can take example of our body. If we have to tell how many bones we have, then we will tell we have 206 bones. Then what the shape of the thigh bone, of the femur, and of the skull, and at what position, and at what angle the bones are located in our body, about how the organs are, what is the structure of organs and where they are exactly located, and how one organ is affecting other organ, and at what position they are, whether they are superficial or they are lateral or medial, at what position do they actually the organs are actually are. All these things are studied in anatomy. Okay, then what comes the physiology? Now when we have studied about anatomy, okay, we then discuss about physiology. Like if right now I'm talking to you, then how am I talking to you? How, I mean, what kind of signal my brain is passing you, right? And how is it reaching to my mouth? And then my mouth muscles are enabling me to speak. My tongue is, working in that. So all these things, the chemical reactions taking place behind what the physiochemical condition of my brain is, all these things are studied in physiology, like how an organ functions, like how your blood functions. So all those things are studied in physiology. Anatomy deals with the structure, how a body part or whole body is, what's the structure, how they are located. Physiology means what's running in the background, how do they actually, how does a bone function, how does a muscle function, how does your kidney function, and all that. Then comes the histology. Now histology means that branch of biology that deals with the study of tissues, only tissues. Now when we talk about tissues, there are several types of tissues in our body, right? We have epithelial tissues, we have connective tissues, we have muscular tissues, we have skeletal tissue and all. So histology deals with tissues only. And when we talk about tissues, then we'll have to go at a very basic level, that is cell. So we start from the microscopic study of cells, and we see the structure, we learn the structure, we study the structure of cells, their functioning, what the shape of the cells. Then we look at an entire tissues, and then how do they function, what are their functions. All these things are covered in histology, right? Then what about the cell biology? Well, you can clearly see that when we study histology, then we'll have to look inside the cell and on the outer structure of the cell. And in cell biology, we actually deal only with cells, the shape of the cells, what's the chemical reactions, that is what all chemical reactions that are going inside the cell, and how it affects the cells, and how one cell communicates with another cell, and so on. It means that our body, is a very complex, it's a result of very complex mechanisms. There are a lot of things going in the background. So all these studies are not possible in just one branch of biology. That's why all these things have been distributed. Now if you look at this cell biology, the biochemistry and molecular biology, genetics, all these, cell biology, biochemistry, molecular biology, genetics, these are very closely related disciplines of biology. Okay, tons and tons of things overlap with each other. It cannot be like you don't know about cell biology, but you can study about biochemistry, or you don't know about biochemistry, you can study about molecular biology. And when you study about genetics, then you have to know all those things. But still, there is a very minute difference when we talk about biochemistry, molecular biology, and genetics. Like biochemistry deals as a name says, bio means our body, and the chemistry is the branch of science which in which we study about chemistry, that is chemical reactions. So in this branch of science, that is biochemistry, we study about the reactions that are taking place within a cell, and then we study whole metabolic reactions. Metabolic reactions means the metabolism or the catabolism that is taking place in our body, that is in our cell. So this study of all those chemical reactions, all the chemical reactants, what biomolecules are being destroyed, what biomolecules are being produced, and so on, like lipid metabolism, then about the formation of cholesterol and all, how an amino acid is formed, what's glucose metabolism. So all those things are covered in biochemistry. In molecular biology, we go at the level of the biomolecules. Like we deal about the DNA. The most important biomolecule of our body is DNA and RNA. And again, the protein, right? So when we talk about DNA, when we talk about RNA, when we talk about how a DNA is replicated, then how a DNA is transcripted to to a RNA, and then how a RNA is translated to a protein, and then how protein interacts with each other, then finally affects our body. So all these things are studied in molecular biology, right? It mainly deals with the DNA, the RNA, the protein synthesis, and all that. But still, it's not very easy to separate biochemistry from molecular biology, but because they are very closely interlinked with each other. The same thing is with genetics. In genetics, we study about, as the name suggests, we study about genes. And then comes the zoology. Now, zoology means that branch of biology that deals with the study of animals. So this was very brief description of some of the branches of biology.